Okay.
Okay, so we have Elise here, and one of the problems with Elise, for her back, turn this way, is that on x-ray she has a little bit of an extra curve here, and so her forces, her shoulders are almost like posterior to her hips. So just standing puts a lot of pressure on her back, okay? So we need to get her shoulders more flexible. She's got nice flexible legs, but her shoulders are really tight. She's got great flexibility with her straddles, but her tummy and her bum don't fire right. So we gotta get this to control with motion. So she's got strength through the lower tummy and her glutes, and she's got flexibility up here, okay? So that she can learn how to properly arch without putting a lot of pressure here, okay? So right now when she arches and does this, where her hips go forward and her back comes down, that hurts her back, okay? Because it puts a lot of pressure there. So what we're gonna teach her to do is to lift, so that if she wants to make herself longer instead of shorter. We want to go up and back and not learn to go forward, which her purpose is to go backwards too, okay? So if she lifts and comes through and fulcrums through here, as opposed to just through here. So we try and spread out the curve, she'll do a lot better. She has to learn to squeeze through here to stabilize herself and to work up and back. Okay, so that just like the video shows, and the therapist can try and help with that form so that she has kinesthetics and proprioception so she can feel where she's actually moving her back. So we're going to try and minimize this and maximize this. Okay? Okay. Now, lay down onto your stomach, put your head down here. So one of her problems is her shoulder flexibility. You know, for a gymnast, we want these shoulders to come up at least another 20 degrees, okay, to 30 degrees if we can, okay? So upper thoracic mobility. So the therapist needs to work on upper thoracic mobility. The video there will show you some exercises to do for that. Lay on your back. On Gymnastics Doctor YouTube channel, if you go to the foam roller, you'll see that there's thoracic mobility with tennis balls and with foam rollers, and that'll help too, okay? And then there's this one overview video under sports medicine topics that talks about hinging of the back, and it's called proper arching of the back. So that's a nice one that has a nice summary. So if she's laying on a, if she's laying on a panel mat, ponytail slightly off, okay? And then we let her hang on to like a weight, okay? And you see what happens to her ribs? And watch here, okay? So bring the camera down. So do you see how, there you go, there you go. You see how that wants to put pressure through here. So what I want her to do is flatten your back. Flatten your back, flatten your back, flatten your back, squeeze your butt, squeeze through here. So now when I do that, where do you feel the stretch?
Shoulders.
Shoulders. Now let your ribs flare. And where do you feel the stretch?
Back.
Back. Ribs flat. There you go, work it, and you feel the stretch in your shoulders, right? So that's one thing that she can do by holding on to a weight. And then those exercises there will show you that we're gonna put some tennis balls here or a foam roller here, and she can learn to like stretch over that a little bit more and get that mobile, okay? So this mobility, but this has to stay down. So when this is too weak, okay, this happens and all the flexibility ends up down here. When this is stronger, then she can use her arms, okay, and the mobility there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Then one of her problems is also her lower tummy. She's got great definition, but doesn't mean she has good strength, okay? So like just trying to touch my hand, go ahead and touch my hand. For a gymnast, they should be able to do that. She has a real hard time. She should be able to come up like this, hold, 2, 3, 4, and then down. Up, hold, 2, 3. And these videos are on the Gymnastics Doctor too. And then bend your knees. The next level is with her knees bent. She does not let her thighs touch my hand, but her knees touch my hand. Go ahead and lift up. Work it, work it. So that she wants to try and do a hip lift like this. Hold it there, hold it. So the therapist can work on this, okay? You sit back with the therapist. That's another good exercise for them to do too, to try and really get the lower abs to work. Just learn to breathe instead of holding her breath like this. Now lay on your side. Let me see a side plank. You can face the camera. So now she's side plank. Go ahead. Flex your feet. There you go. Raise your arm. Raise your leg. So I want her to be able to side plank, and I want her to be able to come back a little bit to extension and hold this, okay? And try and stay straight. Okay, come back down, come back down. Okay? She's going to do that on both sides. Okay? Hold for like a count of 3 to 5. And then she's going to be able to come up As she gets stronger, raise your leg up and circle it. Make circles. Raise your arms up and circle it. Circle it. Circle it. Right. Come on. Come on now. Raise your arm, raise your leg, now circle it, girl, circle it, control it, give me circles clockwise and counterclockwise is your goal. Okay, should do that on both sides. Is that hard?
Yeah.
Lay on your stomach. Flex your feet. Okay, come up on your elbows, raise up, lift your hips up, off the table. Now she's up off the table and her butt's all jiggly. Thank you, squeeze it. So we gotta work on this. And I don't want her shoulder blades to flare. I want her to get strong through there, so this stays engaged and this stays tight. Okay, and then when that gets good, then she raises a leg, raise this leg up, stay tight, and when that gets good, she starts circling it again. Okay, so those are some basics for her. Okay, and it's okay for her to bridge in the gym, but I want her to bridge over a yoga ball, okay, or a barrel man, okay, to try and get that form back. Okay, and then once she's able to arch better without it hurting, then we start her on tumble tramp, and then we get her onto the real floor. Okay, so and then once she can get on tumble track, we can try and start some kips and casts. The reason why kips and casts hurt on bars and taps is because she's doing everything from here. She needs to have that control. Okay, for her. Okay, it should be easy for you. Okay, and it's not asking much, but that's what it's like her muscles just because of it'll happen. She'll get her muscles and get the strength in there. Okay, but in the meantime, we get this flexible. We try and use the proprioception of kinesthetics. Okay, off the table. So that's what you can show the coaches.
Okay.